I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is July 10, Thursday, 2025. I hope you had a good day today. So I got to make this very short because I have to go, and I was on the phone and dragged my time. But to make this simple, what did they do? Well, they came up, and I made the video. Where did I make it? Right here. So what they do, they came back down. They came into the first imbalance of yesterday. It's going to be very key for today. We push up here, and then we rate at 930, and then they get into this rejection wick. They shoot all the way down for that trend line liquidity. So Asian London, you obviously don't know what it's going to do. Obviously, we'll make the video yesterday, but they created this sell model here. There was a sell model here, and I also forgot to mention even yesterday that when we pulled all the way back in, to me, I felt like that was deep enough. But what did we have here? We did have another hourly imbalance. I didn't draw it, but I'm going to draw it now just so you can see it, okay? Because I didn't want to put it on there because. And the reason why is because of that gap. See this little daily gap from Tuesday, that opening? So they came in, it's inside that hourly, and that's a breakout area. So it's very similar to this conversation over here, right? So just so we make things very clear. I don't need to put this on there because of the fact that we do have that daily gap. So I'm going to just, for a second, so they came all the way back to the opening week gap. Present week gap as well. Similar story to this shit yesterday. And then you can see we ran outside of it. They did that on purpose to sweep it. And we're also referencing this area as well. Then obviously buying back up for the easy drop. That's really pretty much all it is. And again, I've been saying all week it's high resistance. So you have to expect these pullbacks coming in. I have been saying it for a while now, right? So you're playing the game that way and your strategy, and you have to allow yourself, okay, well, let's get into it. You have 930 when it's up here, small opening range gap, but sweeps to the left, and then it's hunting for that liquidity down. If you can see on this 15-minute chart, you see this little space right here? That's exactly what I was talking about, right? Let me move this up a little bit. You could see here, see that breakout level? Boom. See how these highs right there? Very similar. So when I took the buy from yesterday, that was at that 25% down here. I did understand, well, we were inside this candle right here and we were accumulating. I was like, okay, that's cool. But I understood that this was an area, all right? And so what they did is they created a sell model here again to then come back down. So pretty dirty. This is what their hand looks like when they're involved, but you see that gap right there, right? So if it was dragged out, you'll see us tagging that right there. And it is a hair lower. So now I'm gonna put this just so I know that I said it. I gotta make this short. So let me just run through. You'll see now that we're to the tick. Now, I didn't put it on the chart because there's just so much shit, but I understood where we were, what's going on when I take this buy. But you can see it's perfect. Right, so it's a perfect sealment there. That'll explain what I'm doing here when we buy. So originally, before I continue, we had an imbalance right here that we came in. We had a break here and we retraced. Right, you get this phantom. Look at this liquidity getting built. A little too suspect. You want it to just push through. But in the reality, you are trying to participate in the market at a discount area. Where would that be? Well, in the pertaining to the range here, high and this higher low, popping up here has all well to come back down for that. In general, you'll see that there's this liquidity here. This is that first imbalance pulled out. Look now, if you look at it carefully, look what we did in Asia. We tap it perfectly. We come underneath it, and then the bodies get stuck there and they push off from it. We blow through it and then we come back to it. So the point of my saying this is that this is a sell model with the original consolidation, accumulation 1, accumulation 2, and rate. It's also like a 3 drive situation mentally. But in general speaking, that this was an easy buy once it was down here, and so was this. But they're making it difficult. Why, as I've been saying in these videos, is that everybody's fucking buying. So they're not going to give you that first pullback. Even though I took the buy from here yesterday, I got out, right? So, because I don't know if it's going to go through, because I know it could pull back. This is the same scenario. So in this case, you want to also wait for time involved, like, and generally speaking, the next 4-hour candle, which would be 10 o'clock. So in this case, you'll see here, this 10 o'clock candle opens right here and drops down. But we got the 3 drives, 1, 2, 3. And I'm a little bit all over the place. But the point is that when we're up here at 9:30 and you want it to keep going through, it wicks. And if you look at the projection here, you can see the 2 to 2.5, it stopped. So we rated, stopped here. We squeezed more up here of these guys selling. Their main objective is now to come back down because of all this. So a dump and pump in simple terms, you can see we blow right through that imbalance. Once that candle closed, and I'm talking about the 931, what's it called? It's an immediate closure, so that's signifying strength, and you could be a seller. You have a break of structure here. But as I'm not, me personally, not trying to counter trend, we are bullish and we're looking to be buyers. In this case, you'll want to wait for it to come down. But if you did participate, I have this located here. It's really supposed to be up here, so I'm going to change it. But the reason why I did that was because I assumed there was going to be a low-hanging fruit today to come into it. So this should be here, actually. I'm going to fix it. Just give me a second. And then there should be another imbalance there. But this one really is supposed to be here. And then let me do, let me just copy this real quick. I got to make this short, dude. Come on, let's go. Okay, so that's really what it should be like. And then if you drag this out, miss it by a hair, right? But you're gonna see what I was doing here. But before I get into it, and I could show you on this chart. Fuck it, let me just do it. So once we broke through, okay, this is also the opening day gap, perfect resistance, bodies underneath, signature, break here. I got this highlighted from here to here, right? The whole swing. You can see it on the 15-minute right there, right? So that right here, you see the 2 to 2.5 right here, which is where the price comes in. Once we're coming down, by the way, I didn't draw this. I didn't draw everything for you, but there's an imbalance right there. And there's an imbalance right there, and they tag in gently, but they come to the 50% of yesterday's first imbalance, and then come underneath it, and resistance to the tick comes down 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. It's covering this whole first present week gap. They're really hunting just these guys right here, right? They're trying to get that area here. All right, so with that understanding, what happens? Well, once it sweeps outside of it, for me, that's a good time to take a trade, even though I did take a loss here. Where? At that 25%. Why? Well, we entered a 2 standard deviation, but then we swept this guy right here. See that where I bought yesterday? So if you watch yesterday's video, we swept that, and I saw this thing pushing. I said, I'm taking it. I'm oversold. It's a little divergence. Let's see what cracks. It's me being a little impatient, seeing if it works. It didn't. Came down again, and then boom, we wick below. I'm very eager to buy because I know where we're going, which is up to wipe out liquidity. Excuse me, I have it projected here, and this is your break and retest or retrace back deep into the wick of the rejection wick. So yes, I'm in. See this candle wicks down, tags the bottom perfectly of that gap, and that's also an entry as well. I just happen to get it here, just you know, as fire as it gets. But I understand down here what we did, right? So you want to see it sweep outside and come back in. This is a retrace, a break and retrace, and then it comes deep. I'm still holding it. Look at it, let it go all the way back to just get in. Why? It's a classic double bottom. This is a classic pattern. Obviously, we fucking buy this shit every day. But the dump was what made sense if you understood the possibilities and all that shit. But anyways, 25%, that old high right there. but 50% getting used. We come right almost to the 50% of that. That's a little breakout liquidity level area there. With the projection, you see the 1 and 1.5. So I allow it to retrace. This is just a high, a low and a high and a retrace. So you see the retrace is back. And in this case, I'm trying to tag something specific, which is this area right here. See this area right here? This is a gap right here, and it broke through. But more importantly, look to the left of your chart on your 15-minute. You'll see that that's that pre-New York low right there. You see that? So we blew through that. So I have a circle here on purpose that I'm waiting to get inside of it, and I'm squeezing it out. It's exactly what I did. So I'll let it retrace. By the way, this is also around the 10:30 time, but whatever. Retraces during London close and into lunch. Now I'm getting into the 1 and 1.5, and I'm getting into this specific area that I've got highlighted with that low that broke over there, and X marks the spot. So get out of that trade. Okay, cool. What's the next idea? Well, as I got out right here, oh, remember, I have this highlighted. I want to hit this area. Very specific that I have this circle there, but I'm not needing it to hold it for my trade, even though that's still a possibility in a direction I'm going. So how do I take advantage of it? Well, you see me get stopped out here. Then it comes up and then hits the 1.5 exactly. Look at this. Boom. Hits that 1.5. I'm using the whole swing. No bodies or nothing. No, just down candles. I'm using just the swings. The swings have been very accurate lately. We hit that and then we sell back off. Where? To come back down. We come back to the opening gap, because if this current week gap, we're below it, below it. So we're referencing that it's the same levels that we've been talking all week, but I understand I'm first of all going to be done for the day, but then lunch kicks in and then lunch, it hunts liquidity. So originally, even if you didn't know what time it was, this is a higher high and a higher low and the push up. So you get a retrace. Very logical. Why here? Well, I just told you about the high of the opening present week gap. But by the time the price action starts to push right here, motherfuckers are pushing buy. These are lazy traders. And they try to hold it. Why do you think the price came back down to this area and underneath it for good measure, right? Because motherfuckers is slick here. And you got somebody who's trailing their stop. Very logical. Very similar thing to here. Right when this price was, you don't know what's going to happen yet, even though I already know I'm down here. When it pushed up right there, see that? They're trying to hold it. We're going to get them, right? It's just simple structure. It's nothing nothing crazy. But point is that as we come down and we tag this area, I want to be involved inside a wick. So we wick down and we tag it. Obviously, I have 15 seconds on my side. This is a little zoomed in. And then we tag in. Boom. Perfect level. Beautiful. All right. But I do take some losses as it gyrates. But it's okay. They're very miniature. What am I doing? I'm trying to get back to that area that I've already discussed about highlighting. Why? Because opening week gap, I got the 2 of the 2.5. And then I have this imbalance. That's not the first one. It's really here. But I drew it here. I didn't care. But logically, these are matching the same levels. But what did I do with this trade? Well, I took it here. Now lunch, I want to go on lunch. I took the trade so I can be done, but I'm going to allow it to do its thing to then keep going higher while I take my lunch. And then what happened? Well, we got to this area. Why do I have it circled there? I'm circling this candle. This last up candle. I'm circling from the bottom to the top. First of all, I want to tap into it. That's at minimum. And then second, what's obviously on the high of that circle or that high of that candle? The high, right? So I'm trying to take out liquidity on the buy side, right? And I'm trying to rush to get up in there. And then I got stopped out. Done. Okay. What did we end up doing after that? What did we do after that? We went to it. So we ended up making it higher and higher lows right there. I tried to catch this bitch before I left, and then it came too deep. And I was like, you bitch, fuck off. And I was like, I'm done. Bye-bye. Close the chart. Guess what? It went right to my level. So it went right to my area. And why did I change the circle? I changed it to, because this low that I put is covering this low. So I was like, this is a minimum area. All right, but I also want to I also want to highlight the resistance right there. See the sell right there? So I want to also sweep above that opening day gap, and then you're getting into this gap. Where's 50%? Where's the 2? And you can see, dude, right there to the tick, coming right to it, a hair. All right, so right there. And what does it do after that? Fucks around, goes sideways. I don't care because I'm done. Right, and then uses it again as resistance, and then shoots down to the midnight level. By the way, the midnight level is coupled with that imbalance. It's literally on the high of it. It's perfect. So as you see, we went above it, and then we used it right here. And if I drag this out, you'll see that we sold off back into that area. So I'm using this, and you can see it working very well. If you didn't have this on your chart, you would have no idea that's going on. Do you need that? Well, and it depends on you, but in general speaking, that was the situation. So again, high resistance days, you expect liquidity, you want discounts. You don't want to buy from here. You want discounts, even if you thought I was going to keep pushing. No, it's just too much liquidity here with the sell model there, right? But what was I going to say? Also, when that raid happened, you had a beautiful higher high here with Nas and lower highs here, so price pushed down. And then when Nas came down here and took out that low that we talked about, clearly higher lows here with S&P and Dow, so the buy was for the rest of the day. And again, notice how I did not get my actual target. I didn't care. If I was to have held it, yes, I would have been fine. It would have went there. But I'm guaranteeing profits, and I'm going to places that are very specific to me and what I expect the goal to be met on their agenda. But other than that, they had a divergence there. We bought up. And then we had this nice sell-off here. You had a higher high there. And then you had higher lows right here with just the candles. And then here you didn't have that with S&P. So continued us up. And then I wasn't involved in the market, but I'm pretty sure that's a I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it took that out. But not really interesting except for here, yeah. I didn't look at this. I gotta go, man. I gotta go. I'm done talking about it. So, anyways, but yeah, that's about it though. And then you can see dollar also when it was pushing up here, we were getting that drop down, and then they started to reverse there too. So, and that's that. And then we had a nice push up with Dow, came up to wipe out some of those sellers. Still bullish, and let's see here. And Dow is already down here in a discount. So, and we were all the way up there. So they did Nas a little bit different and tricky, and that's also a big factor that that the price isn't even where they are, right? Sitting up high, sitting up in the middle, sitting down here, right? What was I gonna say? Dirty. See that type of shit right there? That's classic Dow. That's why I don't fuck with them. Look at this. Look at this shakeout. Look at that. That shit would piss you off. You'd want to see them raid. But that's why you would, in this case, why Dow, you're better off buying it than not buying it, right? Right there's an entry too. But anyway, let's keep moving. And then they took out the high with that last 4-hour candle, and we're up here. So we're still up here. So and I don't need to go much more into this, but pull back here. So that 4-hour kick in and shift the structure kind of thing right there. And I think that's about it. And then also, was I gonna forget to say something? Obviously you can see the bottom half well empty with no bodies. Even just the top quadrant, the bodies are sitting inside that. Even right here, you could see the body sitting on the 15-minute though, and then you could see this 10:30, that candle on the 15-minute just tagged that high that was sitting there in the light yellow right there, which is from that last month's high, right? So bouncing on that, you can see it right there and there. And then anyways, yeah, so I'm expecting it to still make a new high, but today's day's framing with the dump and a pump. Well out of the market before, and we'll see what it does from now. Again, it's very tough because it's the summer, because of what's going on, but in general, I would like, for now, I'd like to see it go up. I mean, you've already, and then continue that flow that I was talking about. You'll also see that flow is already happening on the continuous contracts here. Like when we came up, we're doing that here. We're already well above. And we're doing that higher high, higher low, right? So, but this is not, it's not really looking like that on our contract here, right? But it's just like delayed, as you see here. Also, the daily wick went into the open of, well, I just told you that with this level right there, that little red box. That's the gap, but that's that open level is what is really key here. You can see that we wiped out that whole candle and up to the buying. I'm sorry, back to the open right there. And then nice reaction if you're bullish though. All wick, and yeah, it'll probably close up above. We'll see. Doesn't matter. But and the structure, before I go, this is what it really was looking like. So that's that low and that's that high. What they did is they made an internal low. They made an internal high. So it's a speaker going on right there, by the way. And then they made one more drop for the retracement. And then now I'm expecting this, right? Because that's also possible. And I didn't mention that yesterday. Obviously, I don't know what Asia and London going to do. But as you could see here, that's really the flow. But it's dirty. You don't know that, right? But when they did it here, when they came up and they retraced back, they dropped for a low, came up for a lower high, and made another lower low, right? So they did the same thing here. It's just the way it looks, right? So it's the same logic. And then you can see everything pretty much respecting this area here. And that's not a zone, that's a specific area. But I mean, with it popping up like this, okay, if we're bearish and the shit hits the fan or something's not going right, I mean, you're going to see a major flush down, right? Coming for these guys right here. I'll just say that for now, which is possible only because of the fact that we are up here, and again, while we break these new highs, people are constantly trying to buy it, dude, and they're trying to tell the people in a nice way, fuck off, like get off our dick, pretty much, and that's what that is. That's what this move is. But again, I'm expecting it to just keep going up. So, and then what I just told you. All right, that should be enough. I've beat a dead horse, and again, we're just kind of chopping around here on the majors, and that's really it, man. But just beautiful shit. But and again, with this type of thing, you don't need to be involved if you're waiting for the dump and you're waiting for a retracement for a discount. You want to be in a discount when you buy. You don't want to we buy low and sell high, but when you want to be involved with this momentum and it closing the way it did, that's also a way to, when you saw the flow here, this last up candle, you see that right there of a controller price, and then comes down here and balance comes down, and then once you get down here, and there's plenty of drives, but when you get down here, then you finally see these clear drives down here. Damn, buddy, this nigga just threw up. All right, you guys take care. God bless.